2 The Redline Productions proudly presents today's 2 The Redline review was made possible in part by
Hey YouTube! Well, today let's take a look at this very rare 2005 Subaru Baja Turbo with a 5-speed manual transmission. Now the Baja in Subaru's lineup came out in 2003, 2006 was actually the last year, so only 3 model years of production. This car was designed and built to be the spiritual successor to the Subaru Brat, which was, I believe, in the 80s. Now, essentially what they did is they took the Subaru Outback, or Legacy, they chopped off the back and they turned it into a pickup truck. But it's not an actual pickup truck because it doesn't have a ladder-type frame. It has an independent rear suspension, it's a 4-cylinder, it doesn't really tow that much, but it's an interesting utility vehicle that actually my dad used to want back in the day. When I was growing up in high school, my friend had one of these, an 03 that was yellow. It was that bright yellow with an automatic non-turbo, and then let me tell you, it was a dog. The car was a dog, but the turbo engine, my God, it's a nice car with a turbo engine. It's pretty fast. It definitely gives the car the power it needs because this is a Subaru. It's standard all-wheel drive, so it's relatively heavy. But it's amazing the condition this one is in. It's only got about 49,000 miles on it. Headlights are slightly faded, but that's normal, or the sun's done that and whatnot. This one's just a black exterior with a black interior. The dark graphite finished wheels are the ones that kind of show off it's a turbo, as well as the nice little hood scoop on the front, or on the hood, that is functional. And this one's even rare because it has a 5-speed manual. That is very, very rare. Coming to the interior, you do have the pillarless doors, which do contribute to a little bit of wind noise. The Subarus of the past always had that. This one does come standard with your black leather interior with the little cloth inserts. Pretty nice interior. Now here is just your standard Subaru key. This is their old keys, and then the keyless entry remote almost looks aftermarket to me. I remember this key very well. You can see there's the rare 5-speed manual shifter in this thing. You can see 49,184 miles in this thing. Now the engine in this car is essentially the same engine out of the WRX. It's the 2.5 liter with a turbo strapped onto it. You can see the doors don't sound very nice when they shut just because it's pillarless. Window is only automatic down, not auto up. The interior in here is very simple. It's very 90s Subaru, which is fine. You kind of get in here and you know how to use everything, except there is a little aftermarket radio here, which I don't really care to use, but you can see 5-speed manual, handbrake. The interior in here is actually not bad. It's hard plastic right here. Glove box isn't damp and it's kind of on the small size, but it's all soft touch plastic right here with a nice graining. This is all old Subaru. You can tell this is an older design from the airbag cover and the pretty old looking old school steering wheel that's off of the Imprezas. Door panels are soft touch. It's actually nice materials on the door panels, and it's padded right there. It's only hard touch plastic down here. But you can see headlights. I mean, this vehicle isn't really too complicated. You do have a moonroof. It came pretty well equipped back in the day, so you find one of these in this kind of condition, jump on it because they're really nice. Coming to the back seat, it does come only in this configuration, 4 full-size doors, and the back seat is on the small side. You do have to duck your head a little bit because the roof's a little bit low. The bench seat itself is actually higher than the front seat, so it kind of gives you that stadium-style seating. There's no armrest or anything back here, but you do have a little bit of storage there, cup holders and whatnot. But another cool feature about this car is the seats actually do fold down back here. You pull this little lever right here, and then you can actually pull the little pass-through. You can open this pass-through, and it'll actually take you outside to the bed. So it's a pretty nice feature that this car has. You can see here is the bed of the vehicle. It's a pretty small bed, but it already comes lined with a bed liner, and it comes standard with this little bed extender, which you kind of need because it's got a small bed. And if you can drive with the tailgate down, this rear license plate frame, basically what it does is it just kind of unhooks there, and it kind of flips open, so you can drive with that down. Pretty heavy hood, but you can see there is the 2.5 liter flat 4 that Subarus are known for. This one has the turbo strapped onto it, so it's the same engine essentially out of the WRX. It makes 210 horsepower, detuned in this version a little bit, but still makes plentiful 235 foot-pounds of torque, way up from the 165 that the normally aspirated model makes. So this one is the one to get, and they're very rare to find, so you find one, jump on it. Okay, well, let's move on to how this funky little car-based pickup truck drives, shall we? Now, considering this car is an 05, which is honestly not that old, it still drives pretty nice. You can tell, I mean, the owner took care of this car. The previous owner took care of this car. The clutch has a really short travel. It feels also kind of heavy. Maybe it might be a little worn out, but it still engages properly. The gears definitely have a wiggly feeling to them, but the gates are easily defined. I haven't missed a gear yet going through the gates. It's only a 5-speed manual. Sometimes I did wish it had a 6-speed manual, but the WRXs of this generation only had a 5-speed manual as well, so I can see why it didn't have. Only the STIs had the 6-speed manual. You can almost hear that. You can hear the blow-off valve. This car makes that turbo whoosh whoosh sound when you shift the gears. I mean, it doesn't have a blow-off valve. This thing's all stock, but that's an interesting sound. And I remember my friend's 03 in yellow was freaking slow, but this car's fun. This car is fun, and it is so rare. Like, I've never really been a fan of this car, but you know, driving it with the manual and the turbo, it's a interesting car. Like, it's puts a smile on my face. But everything else, the pillarless side mirrors, or the pillarless windows do create a little bit of wind noise at speed. I remember that very well when I was in this car in high school. But nevertheless, it rides really well. The seats are comfortable, and the ride is pretty soft. I mean, you do get a little bit of a soft suspension, but this car's not a WRX or anything, so don't expect excellent handling. It's more about comfortable highway cruising with power that the base engine is lacking. The steering is a little bit numb. The car just feels a little bit top heavy, but it's also raised. The Baja is raised because it's essentially, you could take this car in a little bit of light off-roading. But the visibility in here is great. Nice thin A-pillars right here, and you can tell this is just an old car. Old cars have a lot better visibility. But anyways, if you guys are in the market for one of these rare cars, especially the turbo model, I definitely would recommend one if you found one that's like this. I mean, they're quite a quirky, unique vehicle. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day.
Yeah, here's some legal stuff for you. The views and opinions expressed in the following video may not necessarily reflect those of the title holding automotive dealer or the entity they represent. All videos are filmed with permission by a professional driver on a set course with the collaboration and assistance of local law enforcement authorities. Do not attempt. Logos and brandings of vehicle manufacturers, dealerships, and online social media sites are the sole property of their respective representation used with permission. The To The Redline logo, soundtrack, and web resources, as well as all other associated media, are copyrighted intellectual property of To The Redline LLC. All rights reserved.